You were born into a story that wasn't yours. Before you spoke a word, your mind was already being shaped. Before you could form a single conscious thought, your environment had already started to build the architecture of your beliefs. Culture, language, school, television, trauma, praise, punishment, all of it installing programs, shaping preferences, writing rules. You didn't choose your core assumptions. You inherited them. And now, as an adult, you walk around thinking you know who you are, not realizing that most of your identity was written by people who never knew you at all. Your mind was hijacked before you even knew you had one. Not by some shadowy figure in a lab, but by the slow drip of influence, by the repetition of words, symbols, and expectations that trained your perception before you were old enough to question it. Think about it. Who taught you what love should look like? Who defined success for you? Who told you what your body was supposed to mean? What a good life should be? What emotions were acceptable to feel? These answers didn't rise from within you. They were downloaded, often unconsciously, from the world around you. And, once installed, they became invisible. That's the thing about programming. When it's done well, you don't even know it's there. From the first day you were praised for being quiet, polite, and easy to manage, the installation began. When you were punished for crying, for asking questions, for saying no, the code was reinforced. You learned to associate worth with obedience, value with performance, safety with self-abandonment. You internalized the idea that love is something to be earned, that failure is something to be feared, and that being accepted is more important than being true. And this internal map, distorted, outdated, externally imposed, is what your adult mind still runs on today. It's why you chase goals that don't fulfill you, why you repeat patterns that hurt you, why you feel anxious in your freedom, because freedom requires agency, and agency was never something you were taught to trust. This is what it means to live in a hijacked mind. To walk through life reacting to scripts you didn't write, defending beliefs you never examined and calling it personality. You think you like certain things, that you're just not good at others. You think your fear is logical, your opinions are your own, your preferences make you who you are. But have you ever stopped to ask, who installed that belief? Who told me this was true? And what would I feel, want, or believe if that thought had never been planted in me? Because here's the truth most people never realize. The majority of your thoughts aren't yours. They're echoes, cultural artifacts, psychological hand-me-downs passed through generations of unconscious minds. And until you question them, until you examine their origin, their function, their effect, they will continue to run your life without your permission. Not because you're weak, but because you're unaware. The modern world is built to keep you unaware. From the moment you wake up, you're surrounded by noise. Headlines, hashtags, ads, arguments, algorithms, each one competing for space in your consciousness, each one planting microprograms into your psyche. The news tells you what to fear. Social media tells you who to envy. Movies tell you what romance should look like. Influencers tell you how to be spiritual. It's not just persuasion, it's conditioning. And it works best when you don't notice it's happening. We live in a culture of installation, not inquiry, a culture that rewards repetition, not reflection. You're told what to believe, not how to investigate. You're told who to be, not how to remember who you were before the noise. And so, most people spend their entire lives mistaking conditioning for character. They call their programming a personality. They defend their limits as facts. They make gods out of inherited rules, and then wonder why they feel so far from themselves. But something in you is waking up. That's why you're here. That's why these words resonate. You've started to question the voice in your head, not just what it says, but where it came from. You've begun to feel the tension between who you were told to be and who you actually are. And in that space, something powerful is happening. Your mind is beginning to deinstall the illusion. This awakening doesn't come in lightning bolts. It comes in soft ruptures. In the moment you realize you don't actually enjoy the things you pretend to like. In the sudden discomfort of hearing yourself say something that sounds more like your father's voice than your own. In the pause between reaction and response, where you catch the pattern just before it plays out. These moments are sacred. They're signs that your consciousness is loosening the grip of its conditioning, that your true mind, the one beneath the programming, is beginning to stir. This is the work now, not to become someone new, but to unbecome who you were trained to be, to trace every belief back to its source, to dismantle every rule that no longer resonates, to sit with the discomfort of not knowing who you are without the noise. Because real freedom isn't the ability to do what you want, it's the clarity to know what you want was not installed by someone else. And yes, it's uncomfortable. You'll grieve the certainty that your programming once gave you. You'll feel exposed without your masks. You'll be tempted to return to the safety of performance. But stay here. Stay inside the questions. Because on the other side of the noise is not a better version of you. It is the real one. The one who existed before you were told who to be. The one who remembers. The one who's been quietly watching from behind your eyes this whole time. The part of you isn't broken, it's buried. And now you have the shovel. Dig. Your mind is yours now. Make it sacred.